Hey guys, welcome to my countdown of the latest episode of Star Wars Rebels, the Antilles Extraction, but it's a little bit different today, and this might happen a few times with this new series that I'm doing. So typically, it's going to be, top 5, top 7, my favorite moments of the episode, but if it's an episode where I have more negative things to say about it, I'm going to call it the bottom 7, 10, whatever the countdown might be. So for this particular episode, this will be my least favorite aspects of the episode. So at number 5, we have Sabine she escapes too fast, I think. The Empire is still as incompetent as ever. They never really hold on to a prisoner for very long, especially when they know that prisoner is a Mandalorian. Even the lady, I forget the name of the Imperial agent, the lady that was that captured her, but she even mentions it. She knows she's a Mandalorian. She's very capable. She knows that she was a previous cadet, that she infiltrated the Empire. You should take extra precautions to lock her down. That's why you guys keep on failing. And it's funny that Sabine said to Callus when she walks by, oh, hey, someone's doing your job better, but they really aren't. Like, the same thing is happening. I think the crew is very aware, like Dave Filoni is aware that the Rebels have been winning too often. Like, if you see the behind the scenes, the Rebels recon, they say, oh, hey, the Empire is becoming more competent. They're, doing this and that, but really it's still the same. Like, the same stuff is still happening. But it was a small nitpick, but it's something I didn't really enjoy too much. At number 4, I really didn't like how Sabine found out who the defecting Imperial pilots were. Like, they were just talking publicly in the middle of a hallway that anyone could have overheard. It was a little bit too convenient, I think, and a little bit too forced to have Sabine in that moment, like, listen into that. It just rubbed me the wrong way. There was a lot of moments like this in the episode that I felt were forced, and this is one of the ones that really stood out to me. I was like, really? She hears them across the hallway, now she knows who, okay. I guess that's just simple storytelling, or they just needed that plot to happen. And it's something that comes up in my least favorite moment of this episode. Number 3, they killed the black guy. No, I mean, that's more petty. That's more of it's a funny thing. But the real issue I have with that is that there was no real emotion from either Wedge Antilles or Hobby. Like, that was their friend. That was, like, one of the cadets they were trying to defect with. You have, like, a little moment where, like, oh my god, he's dead, he got shot. But then afterwards, when they're, like, taken captive, they're just thinking about, like, themselves and, like, oh no, what are we gonna do? Are you not gonna mourn for the friend you just lost? Like, just give us a small moment, like, at least have, maybe Wedge can be the character that's more, like, courageous and strong-hearted. But Hobby, like, he's already the character who was kind of, like, scared about what might happen to them if they get caught, or who to put the hands of their lives in. So that's a perfect opportunity for him, just for a moment. You don't need a huge thing. Just have him go, like, oh my god, our best friend, like, we've known him since, like, we started the academy, like the Empire just killed one of us. That's crazy. Like, just give us a small moment, like, and it makes it feel like a more real world if you have those real emotions. And I felt like they were kind of like robots. They were like, oh, okay, that scene's over, so we don't have to think about it anymore. Like, it didn't carry over. And I think that's the thing that bugged me the most about that. It's just that most of this felt like it was plot-driven material, not character-driven material. And number 2, I don't really like how connected everything is. Like, I think this galaxy feels way too small because they always have interactions with people that we know in the Star Wars universe. Now, that's okay for Wedge, especially for Wedge, because he is a Rebel pilot and one of their best pilots before, Luke Skywalker comes along. But they also have stuff like Hondo, and then they also meet up with Lando, and they meet up with Leia. Like, that, it's just happening too often, and they even are aware of this. Like, if you, again, behind the scenes, they say, hey, we try not to make this, like, galaxy feel too small and everything, but they keep doing it. They keep making it feel small. Like, the Ghost crew knows everyone in the galaxy that has some sort of importance to the Star Wars original trilogy. But at number 1, I think it's the most important to me. I think it's the thing that drives the story the most, and it's the fact that we don't really learn anything new about Wedge or Hobby in the show. Now, okay, I get I say that a little bit wrong. We do get to learn about their origins. We get to learn about where they came from, how they got to be where they were in the original trilogy, but we don't really get real insights into their character. They just felt like tools of the plot in this story. They didn't feel like they were actual living, breathing characters, like I was saying before in my the bottom 3 about their friend. And just, like, what if you really think back on the episode right now, what distinguishing personality traits can you attach to Hobby and Wedge, except for them being maybe, like, scared and kind of disillusioned by the Empire. Like, but beyond that, what are they? Who are they as characters? Like in themselves, who are they? And I felt like that was missing the most. To me, there needed to be more of who these people are, and then maybe that's just not what they were going for. Maybe that's not something they cared about. They just wanted to slot in a plot line of how they came to be in the Rebel Alliance. But I always find it more interesting when we find out more about characters. Like when we have Kanan and Bendu moments, we get character moments, we get character conflicts, we get character growth. I don't feel like we got that in this episode, and I think that's the most drastic opportunity it had overall. But that's it. I'm starting to rant. Like, you guys aren't used to hearing me talk like this. I try to be as positive as possible, and I tried. Like when I was writing my notes, I tried to put as many positives as I could. But like I said, if the bottoms outweigh the top, then I'm gonna make a bottom, whatever the thing is. But that's it. As always, peace, love, may the force be with you, always.